We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it late. For those of you, if you by chance are catching us live, thanks for staying up. Hi, welcome to Spotfest. JJ Brownlee, Jamie Faulkner. We just got back from a live wrestling show.
We did, and I am exhausted. That's all I gotta say about that.
Those of you watching us on the replay or listening to us on Spotify or whatever other channel, thank you first of all for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your guys' support. It is 9 before midnight local Central Standard Time here. We are just starting with this thing. So why? Because we're sadists. So
absolutely, we're sadists. Like faux show.
So
I am exhausted.
Jamie be tired. Jamie worked today. I took the day off.
I did work today.
I should probably taking tomorrow off. This was a smarter move, but that's tomorrow's problem. Let's talk about today's good stuff here. So, as always, we do appreciate you guys watching and listening. Like I said, we thank you for your support. Join the conversation. You can hit us up with a comment down below. Hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Jamie, it's our 4th time getting Dynamite live in Kansas City.
Yes, our 4th time. This is the 2nd time we got to do the sweet thing, which I feel like that's the only way to fly moving forward.
So good. If you guys got a group of friends, do the sweet wherever you're at. Trust me. Oh,
it's good view. You see everything. Yeah, you're not up in it, and but that's fine.
Your chants don't carry across the arena like if you're down low, right?
Yeah.
But you can do things like this. You can like move your arms and get up, and like if you got back issues, you can walk around and.
Yeah, my back's hurting right now.
Well, you stood up and leaned for the last little bit, which is we're gonna save the big story from tonight for the end because it deserves to be its own whole conversation.
I mean, it's basically all of Dynamite in my head at this point. Like, I'm still trying to remember everything else, and I can't because of that.
Okay, so they had a lot of stuff there. They actually opened up with a 6-man tag. So
yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a lot better than I was expecting, but it was just kind of thrown together. Yeah, you had Darby Allin, Sting, and Orange Cassidy. Like that's just a ragtag bunch, if you ask me, going up against Butcher Blade and Kip Sabian, which those three do have history together. So
they do. Sting super over, and
he was doing all of the Orange Cassidy stuff, which made just like I appreciate it because he's like, I'm old. Like I'll do a couple of my favorite my big spots. Like he did a Stinger Splash, he did a Scorpion Death Drop, he did a Scorpion Death Lock.
The old Sting no sell from getting hit. I mean,
he even did the pound his chest and the woo. His woo is different according to him than Ric Flair's. I've yet to figure out the difference.
I still to this day, and I said this to one of our buddies that was in the box, was our friend Kevin. Hey, Kev, go check Kev out at twitch.tv/KevinWK. I would like to see a triple threat match between Sting, Ric Flair, and Pentagon, because it would be nothing but woos for the entire 15 minutes, 3 different woos coming at you, just woo, 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 and all over the place.
Woos and like 85 Sierra Miedos.
Yes, indeed. So the match was, though, like you said, it was very good. It was a surprise. Last week, the whole thing about MJF, who we didn't get to see tonight, unfortunately.
No MJF.
But MJF and his like 3-pillar suitors, right? And then immediately you have Darby Allin in a match with Daddy Sting again. It's like, fuck.
Old Daddy Sting can't get away from him, can he?
He cannot. He can't pull guns out and just totally like get rid of their father, because they did. And
they did it right.
There was a lot of good chants. The main event had most of it, but besides that, some other big things were definitely the Ass Boys chants going on during their title match.
Yeah, so this match was fine. Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Sting won.
Mm-hmm.
because Sting actually got the win, which I thought was kind
got
of
the
great. He had the Scorpion Death Drop on Sabian, which I'm like, okay,
Good for him. It's the first match in over a year.
yeah. It happened to be in Kansas City, where we are. Or sorry, Kansas Scissor.
That's a spoiler, y'all.
Well, foreshadowing.
A little
Yeah.
foreshadowing.
Actually, I don't think that's on the broadcast, so it's fine.
It's gonna be on Rampage.
Yeah.
No, it
So
wasn't even on the Rampage. Anyways, sorry.
so after that, we didn't see any of the promo for JP, so we're not gonna talk about it. AEW Tag Team Championships, the Ass Boys versus Top Flight.
Yeah.
Like, Ass Boys were ass boying it up.
I mean, Top Flight looked very good. Darius Martin's
Mhm.
not human.
No.
The match itself wasn't the big star of this segment. So
No. And correct me if I'm wrong. I just happened to check this. The Guns finishing move is called the 310 to Yuma.
yes. You didn't know that?
No. And I kind of sad I didn't, because that's a great finisher name.
I mean, it's not too dissimilar from the Shatter Machine or the Big Rig, which I guess they're going by Shatter Machine. FTR is now again.
Is it back to the Shatter Machine? I thought it was a Big Rig.
Well, they announced it as the Shatter Machine when they re-debuted. You know, Shatter Machine. Anyway, whatever it is. So I don't know. They might have gone back to Shatter Machine, but they called it the Big Rig in honor of.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. They show up afterwards.
FTR pops in, which big pop.
Huge pop. And then they said, the Guns like, there's no way you'll ever fight us for these titles.
Nothing's gonna make nothing you can say.
It's like, well, if we don't win them, then we'll leave AEW. Which right there, right then and there,
Jamie perked up. He's like,
Mark Stradamus heard that loud and clear. And you don't have to be a Mark Stradamus to figure this out, though. Like, legit.
well,
They already said they made a decision for April. What do you think?
Well, okay, here's what I think. Okay, and a lot of this is conjecture because we don't know. We don't have inside sources. We don't know. All right.
Yet.
But we're working on that. We're working hard. Supposedly it was, the ink was drying that they were going back to the Fed. It was gonna happen, right? And then Vince McMahon came back and they were like, "Whoa, slow down." And from what I've heard is that they never actually did fully agree to go back. They were leaning that way. There was big talk about them taking like a year off from major promotion and just doing Japan, doing little stuff, doing, whatever they want, which fits into them still being in AEW a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've heard through the rumor mill is that the more and more Vince keeps reimplanting himself into parts of WWE, the less and less interested FTR is about going back there.
I'm great with that, but as soon as they said that they'll leave forever,
I mean, it's an old trope. That's a telltale sign, right?
that they're gone. Yeah, that's like, hey, easiest way to get rid of them is have them a loser leave town match.
Right in the story.
And guess what? They're in a loser leave town match.
So more than likely going to be at Double or Nothing is my guess, right?
Would be well before Double or Nothing, because that's in May.
Double or Nothing's that's right, in May. Yeah, so we got plenty.
Yeah. So it'll probably be in the next week or so.
That's a couple weeks, right?
Next 2 weeks, New York. That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they got St. Louis next week and then New York week after. So they're trying to get a good show for New York, so that makes sense. Well, it's a 50-50. We'll know. Like, legit. Either they're going to be champions and they're going to line up for eventually having the Elite and FTR at more than likely All Out, right? Or they're out the door. If they're out the door, how are you? I know that saddens you, but...
Big time. I know that they have a young tag team division.
They do, which they're trying to push. and I get that.
They are, but you still need your big boys, the draws. You need draws, and the Bucks are a draw. But then after that, you have the Lucha Bros who are a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? Like, for real?
The Acclaimed is the next on the list that I can think of, and that's only because they're popular, hot right now, right? Yeah,
they're hot right now. And no discrediting the Acclaimed. I am a big Acclaimed fan. I think they are the future of tag team wrestling. I love them, but they're the future. FTR is the now. And let them roll it for a couple years and really get some of these younger teams really up there and being really legitimate.
Yeah.
Acclaim's really legitimate. You can get the Guns even better than what they are now. You can get Top Flight in there. You know, you can honestly get Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange up in there because they are a hell of a tag team. Just gotta get them away from this whole JS BS. But, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like they have some talent there. There's plenty of room at the top, though. That's the thing. They need the top draw because if they lose FTR, that is a blow not only to the locker room, but definitely their ratings. I completely believe that they're a big draw.
Well, they are a big draw, and I don't. It's the whole thing. It's like I'm not sure if, you know, them leaving. I don't know if okay, let me rephrase that. I don't know for sure if them staying is going to be a negative for the titanium division at all, right? It can't be, you know. I don't think it'll get away from what Tony's wanting to do, which is obviously, he said, push these young tag teams. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's, who knows? Like, if I'm 50-50 on it, you know, like if they want to go back, get big money and go back to the okay, cool. Right. Knock yourself out. Right.
Yeah.
If they want to stay here because they don't want to go back to there and become, you know, the Uzi Hot incident part 2 or whatever, you know, which was also happening in Kansas City. And I refused to go to that show. And I'm so glad I didn't go to that show because I did not see the Uzi Hot live.
I was there.
You were on the floor too, I think.
I was on the floor because we were seat fillers.
You were the seat filler thing. So.
Yeah. Hashtag, I don't know if people know this, but WWE has seat fillers. So if somebody gets up while there's a match or something going on and they're going to be on TV, they have people fill those seats.
So if you want cheap, i.e. free tickets, get to know somebody at the venue.
Yep. And then you just go and you sit in the back row of the floor. And they tap you on the shoulder and go, hey, go sit over there. I'm like, no problem.
I mean, free tickets, free floor seats to a show. Check it out.
Oh, all right. Yeah, like I got a quick little story.
No, go ahead.
I still remember, like, at that show, there's a Ricochet match going on, and it's like smack dab right in the middle.
Oh.
Like 3 rows back on the top, like it's sprint, not the floor, but like the little incline.
Uh-huh.
And this lady looked at me like I was crazy. Like, this seat's taken. I'm like, oh, I understand. I work for WWE. I'm supposed to be here as a seat filler, make sure everything looks good. And then once that person comes back, I leave. Like, oh, okay. You work for WWE? It's like, that's what they told me to say.
That's cool. Some clout. Yes. I work for WWE. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. For these 5 minutes.
So there was apparently there was a promo that we didn't get to see, which played off into Rampage a little bit. So Smart Marketing has a cease and desist now. Even though, as you made it very clear, that finishing move that Taya Valkyrie does, which is the same move that Jade Cargill does, they both do it. They've been doing it. It's not an original move. It's a good,
No, it's been around for a hot minute. Awesome Kong. The Glamazon, like, it's been there for a hot minute.
Yep. I agree with you, though. Taya's name for it, fantastic.
Welcome to Valhalla. Yes, please.
So good. But so there's that whole thing. I do want to take a second to just say, we've been to 4 Dynamite shows now. 2 of them, last 2 have been in like the in the box, right? In one of the suites. This is probably the first one we went to was the hottest by far because it's the first time, right? Pre-pandemic.
That was a hot crowd.
It was a hot crowd. It was a go-home show for a pay-per-view. We had the Iron Man match. It was asses to elbows in that place, and it was loud and going. This is the closest it's been to that, I think. Like, definitely, I think the biggest crowd since the first one, and they were with it all night. So, shout out to you, Kansas City crowd.
Yeah. They always bring it, man. Makes me happy.
So, you had Hook versus Stokely Hathaway next.
Yes. Heather, if you happen to be on, I did record Hook's entrance and on my iPhone. I'm gonna load it up on Twitter here shortly. So you can go bask in that glory. But JJ had a revelation about Hook.
Okay. I enjoy Hook as a wrestler. I think he's talented. I know his pedigree. He's going to be good. He's going to be all that. Pretty boy, get it, whatever, you know? And I see him in person, and I goes, okay, now I actually do get it. This guy is more shredded than some sort of salad.
He's more shredded Julius Salad, man.
That's how we set people up here. He got
that's the second thing I've said from that movie on this show.
Ooh, bonus points. Everybody comments down below the first thing. I get it. Now seeing him in person, I'm like, okay, now I know why all the ladies love Hook.
Ladies, LL Cool H.
LL Cool H.
Such a great nickname for him.
So Stokely originally tried to weasel out of the match.
Yeah, he said he had a doctor's note and it was a receipt to Wingstop.
Right. Well, he said first of all that Dr. Sampson didn't clear him, which Dr. Sampson singing ringside like, what? You know. Subsequently, or and coincidentally, I want to announce my retirement. You know.
Yes.
Then gives Justin his doctor's note, which was a ring stop receipt, and then it was fun, short. It was short, thankfully, but I think my favorite part was the entrance. Stokely coming down in full like D-Lo, Nation of Domination garb, and the whole firm is behind him. You know, Isaiah, Matt Hardy, Big Bill, all of them. And they're cheering him on like, yeah. As he turns his back, they're like, oh, he's going to get killed. Oh, no, yay.
It was good. Yeah, he did get killed. Hook hooked him. Did an amazing exploder on the outside. He caught into the exploder, did another exploder onto a guardrail, like a bike rack.
He pulled
guardrail.
It in the ring, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it was fun. He hits the red rum, tap out or pass out, I guess. I think it was a pass out. And Hook gets the Dub City.
Mm-hmm.
He's eating dubs.
Eating dubs.
After that, it was story time with Adam Cole, baby.
Ooh. Like you said, we haven't been able to see Adam Cole wrestle live. When NXT came to town back in the day, we got to see Undisputed Era of everybody except for Adam Cole. So we haven't actually seen him in person wrestle.
Yes.
But he put on a hell of a promo.
He sure did. And he got interrupted by one Daniel Garcia.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you came out, were you surprised with that direction? Because you knew where it was going as soon as Daniel came out.
Yeah, no. I was actually very pleased because Daniel is an incredibly safe wrestler.
Yes.
And he's a ground wrestler too.
I like the way you phrase that because it's let's just slide in here nice and easy. Slide nice and easy, okay? You know. But Daniel actually, who we've criticized before for his mic skills, did a decent enough job, right? Adam Cole pulled back some old favorites, right? You know, what's special about me is when they ring the bell, you know, that sort of bit, you know. But it's good to see Adam Cole.
Baby.
In a ring. Great
Baby.
pop for him.
Baby.
Baby. Yes, baby.
The one thing, though, I will 100% give Daniel Garcia all the flowers and then some. Because he did something so Kansas City, I guarantee, if you're not a Kansas City Royals fan, you did not catch what he was doing. So, like legit gotta give him his props. I'm gonna tweet at him here in a little bit as well. But he did the Brody King, beat him. And then he named somebody else, beat him. He did the Johnny Gomes speech from the 2015 World Series champion Kansas City Royals celebration. He did that speech.
It's on point. I didn't catch it at first, but Jamie was right there as it was happening. Like,
it's like, wait, he's doing the Royals thing. But like when they had the music keep playing, you like the low jack thing. You're like, oh, they're doing the low jack thing. Like,
right.
no, this is the Royals thing.
Yeah. So next week in St. Louis, Adam Cole's in-ring return against Daniel Garcia. So, only match thus far announced for next week's Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, another one did not get announced.
No. They're gonna announce more on Rampage, which we saw the taping on Rampage, and we're trying not to spoil that for everybody out there. It was a good Rampage, I will say that.
It was an excellent Rampage.
Saturday at 9 Central, 9 Central, not Friday. Don't know why.
Yeah, like we don't really want to spoil Taya Valkyrie's on it going against Layla Gray. We don't want to say anything towards that or
there was a title match with Powerhouse Hobbs. We can say what the matches were. It was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Pentagon
Jr. or whatever, Pentagon, whatever he's going by now.
Why not just Pentagon? I don't know why they got to keep why you put anything else on there? It's just Pentagon, right?
Well, but, so Rampage, we could talk about how somebody got welcome to Valhalla. We're not going to talk about that because that would just be mean and cruel to let things out of the bag like that, or other things. It should just be bad.
By the way, Heather doesn't like Daniel Garcia talking, period. I don't know if you caught that or not.
I mean, she's not wrong though, but he did do the Royals thing, and he's actually gotten better.
I think he did better tonight. Okay.
Yeah, at least he didn't call him a piece of garbage like he did the first time he spoke. Like,
you piece of garbage.
Yeah. So Daniel Garcia.
That's such an inside joke. Sorry, guys.
Daniel Garcia and JP Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I feel like they're on the same level when it comes to mic skills.
Yeah, which is not a good level.
It rhymes with pity. That's probably the best way I can describe them. But he did do the Royals thing, so he did get some. He's getting flowers for me on his mic skills. He didn't exactly execute it as well, but if you are bored, just go look up the Johnny Gomes speech, and it's absolutely beautiful. Like, that dude cut a better promo to hundreds of thousands of baseball fans than Daniel Garcia did. But to your point, Heather.
To your point, yeah. All right. So we had 3 other matches here. We're saving, like I said, the ending for our ending.
Yeah, John Mox. Yeah.
Hey, Johnny. Don't call him Johnny. You'll get beat up like everybody else apparently on the roster.
Here's Johnny. Anybody remember Johnny 5? Johnny 5's alive. Anybody? Sorry, I'm tired and loopy, so you're getting all the crazy 80s movies shit.
He just rapid fire them to you. All right, so John Moxley is what you're trying to say.
This is Stu Grayson, returning Stu Grayson of the Dark Order. This match was so fun. It was a great, grueling, physical, technical. I got a goddamn Texas Cloverleaf in this match. I'll take it. It's not a Lion Tamer, but it's my second favorite submission of all time. And this was just a good match. Obviously, Moxley's gonna win, and then Moxley and them end up later on beating the hell out of Stu one more time. It's just whatever. And
it's
SK Bishop was in there checking on him. Evidently, local competitor SK Bishop, friend of the show, who's been on the show. Go look at his interview with us with the premiere. But he was in there acting as like a EMT checking out the elbow of one Stu Grayson. And had no clue.
It was this is an elbow. And it's like
pook.
So another friend of ours who was in the booth. If you guys are familiar with the wrestler known as Dallas Cade, so he was bringing up the whole thing about the BCC. You know, he's like, they can't be heels. You know, like, well, they are heels. And it's like, well, but look at this. They're not getting heel reception. You're not getting cheered every. You know, it's like that's because of who they are. They're heels though. So they started off the show with they beat up apparently the Young Bucks to send them to the hospital. Then they beat up Stu Grayson and presumably the Dark Order as well. So it's another, once again, we say this a lot, you know, it's an old trope, but the one group terrorizing the world, that's kind of where they're going with this whole BCC thing, which I don't care at all. So anyway.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this was the finish on that match, though, was the top rope Death Rider. Like, I got, yeah.
And Stu has some amazing moves. It's interesting because Stu doesn't, like, Stu and Dark Order, they don't get the pop. Because if you look at the crowd, you have how many thousand people doing the Dark Order thing, right? So they can't, like, clap, but they're doing
this is where Dallas is 100% right, because everybody's still cheering Jon Moxley. You can't have, oh, it's Jon Moxley, yeah. It's like, oh, hey, it's Stu Grayson, yeah. You know, you can't have them both. You'd be like, hey, yeah. It's like, oh, yes, go, Stu. Go, Stu. You can't have the same level.
Yeah, and during the match,
they did a good job later of really becoming full-on super heel.
It did, and during the match, Stu got the big pop and big cheers and chants and all that. It's just tough to do. So,
yeah,
we'll talk about the BCC more in a bit here.
Yeah. After this, you had that fun little QTV thing. I'm sorry. I hot take, and I can get crucified. I don't care. I am loving QTV because the fact that they're making fun of TMZ warms my ever-loving heart, because I hate TMZ with an effing passion. Effing passion.
It's a good bit, man. It is. It's a good bit.
And Aaron Solo is absolutely hilarious.
I love Solo getting his time to shine too.
Yes. So after this, you had a women's match, singular uno women's match.
You could have done two women's matches, Tony. I mean, you did have the bandwidth and the time. I'm just saying, you know, it's a possibility, but whatever.
Yeah. And it was not a full-on squash match, so I was very happy to see that. It was good. Skye Blue going against Toni Storm with Saraya and Ruby Soho.
Hey, Ruby.
And that's setting somebody up.
I tried to say Ruby, say hi to Ruby, but she couldn't hear me from where we were sitting. It's okay. I get it.
Yeah, that restraining order really helps.
I'm going to get a hi back from her at some point in time, even if it's that person at the all-out meet and greet, which is probably where it'll be.
Dude, like, if she ever gets on Cameo or something, I'm totally going to see how much it would cost to get her that pre-birthday.
I'll take it.
All right, so Storm and Blue, honestly, they had a hell of a match. I really like Skye Blue. She sells incredibly well. She made Storm look like $1 million, which she always does. Got some good offense into. Did hit her Code Red, which by far is more superior than Darby Allin's Code Red. I may be biased, but I don't care. It's fact. In my mind,
extra movement is what Jamie's getting to, because she comes at it from the side, then turns and spins and does the Code Red.
It looks more fluid than his. Plus, I hate Darby Allin, so there's that piece too.
There it is.
Hey, at least I'm self-aware. At least I can admit it.
You are, you know. And here's my problem with Skye Blue. Okay. And I don't think it's a problem with Skye Blue. I think it's a problem with some of the managing of stars that don't have a long established, you know, record in this business. Maybe, you know, is what's her thing? What's her gimmick? What's her shtick?
She's a
young cute wrestler,
young adult woman who wears a backwards hat, so she's alt.
it's a whole lot of nothingness. It's like she's just there, right?
She's a Chicagoan.
She's Chicagoan. Yeah, she's from Chicago.
Chicagoan.
But she doesn't. But I mean, they don't give her. In essence, think about this, okay? Her and Cora Jade are more or less started off. And Cora Jade in NXT, Skye Blue in AEW start off with basically on the same exact level, right? Same sort of thing.
I get that.
Cora Jade has grown and had different variants and this and that, and Skye Blue just goes out there and wrestles a match once every few weeks, and then we see her on Dark a few times, and that's it, right? She's kind of tagged along with Ruby, tagged along with Willow, tagged along. It's like, I think therein lies the greater problem I have with a lot of this is that if you're not Toni Storm or Ruby Soho, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, these women that know what they're doing, bend them around the block a little bit, you're just kind of there. And they throw you out for matches, you get a little light push, but you don't really have a lot of character to you. And that, I think, is the bigger problem with the women's division than having 2 matches. Although 2 matches on Rampage is not asking for, or Dynamite's not asking for too much.
That's I would agree with that. I think that's an excellent point that you're making. I think she could use a repackage.
Or
I think
define her somehow, personally. Somehow. Give her some personal.
Yeah, like give her something. Because like they had her with Madison Rayne. Great. So you had Madison Rayne like straight up poison ivying her and like dressing up, or single white female. Yeah, single white female. If anybody's ever seen that movie. Like, Jesus, I'm pulling out all the movie references.
Yeah, you started going down the wrong path, then you came back with it. Yeah,
like straight single white female there, and like, hey, yeah, like dressing exactly like her.
Which I get that. Okay, so she's molding her, but then you did nothing with that.
At all. Like, pair her with Emi Sakura and like get her an edge. Put her with Nyla. Something. Like, give this damn woman a personality. Please.
Like, for
she
what
could
it's
wrestle.
worth, the people will dog me for this, I know. Marina Shafir, paired with Nyla, has done wonders for her than when they try to just put her out there by herself. Because they didn't give her any direction. It's just like, go. Oh, she's a cage fighter woman thing. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Now they pair her with Nyla, and sure, Nyla dominates that personality-wise, and she's just kind of like the meanie friend that tags along, but at least that's something.
Not so. Okay, you want a hot take? I'll give you a hot take. Of course, I want
hot takes. I mean, you're loopy. I can pull hot takes out of you like nobody's business.
Yeah. So Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir are the female versions of X-Pac and Kane.
Hot damn.
Think about that.
I don't hate it.
Think about that for a second. Except the roles are reversed. Nyla's the smaller, or Nyla's the powerhouse, but tons of personality.
Right. And Marina's like the smaller.
The smaller.
But she's the silent. No personality is Jungle Boy's gimmick. That's right, But
yeah, Heather knows where I stand on that one. So yeah, she ding 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 ding.
So Toni Storm did get the win. They tried to paint her. Out comes Willow and Riho again.
Riho with the steel pipe, and she's got little like bear ears with her hair. It is the cutest damn thing. She looked like a little like girl. Like she looks so adorable.
The pipe it's not a large pipe, but for her, it's a massive pipe. It's as big as her fucking arm, and seeing her carrying it is so comical.
Yeah, we can't find a smaller pipe. We have to be careful around this, but yes, like it does not fit her.
Yeah, I get the point. She's bringing a weapon out. Okay, let's get her an appropriately sized weapon for her physique. That's all I'm saying.
A chair. A kendo stick. That's a little too on point, but that's a little
too on point. That's also Sheeta's thing.
Yeah.
Is Sheeta still in Japan, by the way?
She's supposed to be back anytime now.
Okay, so maybe Sheeta pops her head in here. Remember,
because she was doing the same stuff that Heidi and Max were doing, which Heidi and Max dropped their belts to Yamashita and Maki Ito. Didn't say I didn't see that coming, but it was, an excellent match.
Adorable little hoodlum.
She is.
That's what Heather called Riho an adorable little hoodlum. For those of you
I
not
know.
watching us live, that's fantastic.
She's cute as a button.
And she's getting push here, but anyway, so we'll see how
She's
this
so
all
cute.
once again, I think though that the fact that they're at least trying some stuff here is good. I agree. They need to have some direction in what they're doing with some of that. The matches have picked up though. I will say this, except when they do like a Jade Cargill squash match. Sorry, the women's matches we see on TV have been a lot better.
They have. I mean, every now and again you get a stinker, but it wasn't like before where you only get a good one every now and again. The women's divisions came a long way. Like we've talked about, like I want more of it. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, this third show, I want to be 100% a women's show. Yeah. Just showcase the women, build some storylines.
Yeah, you've got some younger talent, that you can develop. You got talent that's been kind of around, So I think about Diamante, right? We saw Diamante as part of the tape.
Who looked excellent.
She looked amazing,
Going against Riho, no less. On point.
It was a good match. Watch Dark Elevation. Watch Dark. It's one of the Darks next week.
Elevation.
I think that was Elevation. But you got Diamante. You've got like some of these young ones, like I said here. You've had some reoccurring ones that, like the Renegade Twins. They've been there. Amber Nova. Has been around a few times. You've had Heather Reckless. It's been around several times. So you've got possibilities there. And we'll get off that high horse because we have way too much to talk about with the final match. And before we get to what literally so we found out a couple days ago what the main event was going to be, right? Or what the headline was going to be. And I found out about this first, and I tweeted or I texted Jamie directly about it, and he just goes, "What?" Because Kenny Omega,
holy poop sign.
Kenny Omega. El Hijo del Vikingo.
And, ladies and gentlemen, there are matches that have natural hype. Just by putting two people together.
I think of Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson's in one that happened, for the first Grand Slam.
Natural hype. If you want to go WWE, Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Natural. Just natural. Like people want to see this. Want to see. And it's just got this hype. And very rarely, I would say, very rarely does one that has natural hype with no build-up, nothing like that, just natural hype, exceeds any kind of expectation.
Yeah. And
this one was that occurrence. So we were all in there, and we have a former wrestling promoter, we have a couple different former wrestlers, like we have a nice eclectic
we have other people who've done podcasts and worked around people that have been in and around the industry in general of different levels throughout our little room of wrestling buddies.
And this was must see. And my goodness, that match was exquisite. That's probably the best way I can if I could use some kind of word to explain what I think of this match, exquisite. Do I say perfect? No, because no match is perfect. But this was amazing. Tantalizing, like however you want to say it. Like it was just amazing. Like holy shit. Vikingo exceeded my expectations. JJ, I will let you see all the songs.
For those of you who have been around Total Spotfest for a while, we've been around from the beginning, that Jamie is more kind of like, if we had to like draw lines in the sand, Jamie would be on the side of the line that's over in Japanese wrestling, and JJ would be on the line of the sand that's over in Mexican wrestling, right? Just as what do you prefer a little bit more? So I remember seeing Vikingo for the last few years, right? And he was on Impact back when they did like a Lucha Invasion sort of thing a couple years back, but I seen this kid coming up here, and I'm like, this guy's gonna be something special. I remember back when we had Young Boy with us, I told him about this. He goes, Vikingo, what's his deal? And I'm like, he's a Mexican Viking luchador, maskless. He goes, that sounds like a lot. Like, just wait till you see him live. And the backstory is that he was going to challenge Kenny, more than likely take the belt off Kenny for the AAA Mega Championship. Well, and then Kenny had all the injuries and everything, and he had to take that year off, right, to get everything fixed. And during that time, he had to relinquish the Mega Championship, Mega title over in AAA, and Vikingo eventually won it, and he currently has it. And I like flippy spitty shit. Nobody out there is going to disagree with me on that because I can't stop talking about it. I prefer the flippy spitty shit. I know, I get it, but my God, this match, we knew it was going to be a banger, right? They gave it plenty of time though, and I mean, I could sit there and break down every bit of this match if we wanted to, like, totally just talk for hours on end, which is probably not a good idea at this time of night. But
no, this match, the step over 630 through a table was one of the most athletic things I've ever seen, and I think it was the second most athletic move of the entire night.
It's hard to
the 450
quantify.
The 450 off of the top of the
ring post,
the ring post into a Hurricane Rana might have been the most athletic thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
I seen him do that at the last Triple Mania, and I was like, see it live was even better. It's amazing.
Like, it was close quarters. Like, that takes just a lot of skill to be that close to be able to hit that. Where the step over 630, yes, if you pick one and say this is the thing, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 630. And then it's a 630 he did by stepping on the middle rope and jumping over and doing a 630. Like, fuck physics, right? I mean,
his Poison Rana, like, he hit so many things.
To kind of put it all as well, it started off hot. So his entrance was fantastic. Came in, and then we got the old Kenny the Cleaner entrance with Justin Roberts' little cue card full of stuff in the North Carolina. So glad the crowd participated with that. It was, and then, so as he got close to the ring, Vikingo just did a tope suicida, right? Let's just fucking go, right? It's 25 minutes left of the show, and it's like balls to the wall, and I'm like, yes. And within literally 3 minutes, the whole crowd is chanting, this is awesome, right?
Within 3 minutes, that's what happened. Like, the crowd, okay, so the pop for Omega was insane. Loudest pop of the night by far, even over Adam Cole, which I thought was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But the crowd was so hot for this match, it was insane. Like, Don Callis was not lying when he said it was going to tear the roof off, because it did.
I'm not one that usually gives out a large star rating from a match fresh off seeing it. And I only saw this live, so I know I've rose in the glasses. But I'm going to go on a limb and say it is at least a 5-star match. 100%.
And for you to do an initial rating like that is kind of shocking. I'm easily going to give it a 5. If this happened on Japan soil, Meltzer would have given it like a 39.5 star rating. But yeah, no, this match, everything and then some.
And
we'll watch it again.
I 100% going to watch this match at least a few times. I mean,
match of the year candidate, easy.
I threw that out there, and I was like, do you think this is going to be? And like, yes, this is definitely going to be on the list. I mean, it was fantastic in every way. Kenny looked amazing. Vikingo looked amazing. They went back and forth, told a beautiful story. Both men looked fantastic. Neither man looked bad. Kenny got the win, which lines him. And you asked about this. Do you think AAA is going to let their golden boy lose? And I'm like, well, if they do, this gives a open line for his next challenger for that mega title at Triple Mania. Get the match they finally want on Mexican soil.
Also brings to the point that Kenny's gonna be free agent here shortly, supposedly. Like he's in negotiations.
Right.
They probably wouldn't have let him win if the negotiations weren't going in the favor of a certain company.
I mean, we'll see about that.
Kenny equals ratings.
I don't expect Kenny leaving, at all. And I feel I feel like I think the storyline, what they're doing with Kenny is bigger. Vikingo could take the loss because it wasn't a title match. And like I said, it does build something up for him in his home promotion that's just as good, right? Because it's this, but on Mexican soil in a 6-sided ring. Which, if you do yourself a favor, I know Jamie, I've forced him to do this, and he's thanked me for it. Go on YouTube, look up some AAA matches with Hijo del Vikingo, okay? Go look at some Triple Mania, AAA, just look them up and thank me later because it is that good. And you don't even have to love the flippy space as much as I do. But this man has just got, like, you want to see, like you said, imagine seeing him and Rey Fenix in a match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if my brain could take that.
It would be like him, Rey Fenix, him, Will Ospreay. Like I could go on and on about some matchups
him athletically
that would
stupid.
be insane. Him and Pac would like melt my mind. But no, like this match was amazing. After the match I do want to get to that.
Okay.
So after the match, here comes the Blackpool Combat Club with heat. The people are booing them because they're attacking Kenny. And here comes Adam Hangman Page with a board with nails in it, driving an ambulance back from the hospital. And he comes in there and he clears out the Blackpool Combat Club. But then Don Callis got out of the ring when all that stuff was happening. Mm-hmm. Irony. And then he gets back in after they leave, and then he starts pulling on Hangman, and like Hangman kind of pulled his arm away and he fell to create some animosity.
Right. Well, he turns around because he gets surprised and almost hits him. Like, oh, okay, all right. And then he turns back around. Don Callis pulling him and does this weird bump, which we're all just kind of like, huh?
Do you want it?
No.
Want it?
I was just catching up because you missed that one little part there. Go for it. Go.
You want it? Don Callis is part of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh God. It actually makes a lot of sense when you get past the shock of that statement.
Don Callis is a heel, ladies and gentlemen. Don Callis is a heel. Right now, the Elite are not heels.
And what does Don Callis want more than anything at this very moment? The god of wrestling, Kenny Omega, singles main eventer. Yes.
And he's trying to get a Kenny Omega. So they're setting up Kenny Omega, Moxley, and Hanger and a triple threat. That's what they're setting up right now. And eventually it'll be Kenny and Hanger too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too.
To occupy until the time comes that Kenny moves into the title picture, because we all know that's
the
more than likely the lineage, right?
Yeah. So what better way to set up Kenny, and have his friend hurt him, and yet he was the mastermind behind it all, and it'd be the big swerve, and then it would have Kenny be alone because his friends have turned their back on it, like the reverse. Legit, it would be the reverse of what happened with them and Hanger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the one alone because he shunned them because Don Callis filled his head with all that crap, and he finds out the truth, but his friends are still hurt, so he's just gonna, go down that lonely road.
I mean, it's a great way to go with it, and nothing that they've done has given any credence to disprove that statement that Jamie made either. The fact that earlier on in the night, they had the whole thing with, the Young Bucks go in the hospital, and Kenny's wanting to go check on them and be with his friends. And Don's like, "You have a match. You have a match. We have a single match. You're getting back to what you need to be, the god of pro wrestling, right?" So it's like you're being a little heartless here, Don, when you think about it. So.
Heather says like Lima Beans, no one loves him or trusts him. Hot take. I love lima beans.
I prefer black beans personally.
Oh, I'm a bean fan in general.
Yeah, just big beans in general. Okay.
But lima beans, I really like covered in butter. Like we used to have them for Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you like peas?
Oh yeah.
Because peas and beans are similar. I loathe peas, but I love beans. I can't stand peas. Yes, Heather. Every day Jamie does take us further from God. It's okay. He's a Catholic. Go to confession. It'll be fine.
It's warm down here. No. But
so all right, we'll see if that really happens. If that's the transposition, it ends with Kenny. BCC leaves. Kenny turns over and sees Don on the ground. Don points to Hanger, and he gets a little frustrated, this and that, and then takes Don and jets off. So that's how we end it. Slow burn, but I think
they're building it up quickly, which is nice.
Well, they're 100%. They're breaking Kenny away from this group action in general, right? Which is a smart play to do. But how they go with it from there is the thing, because you've also got, and this is maybe the longest. Like serious longest form story that they have is at some point in time Omega and Cole are gonna cross paths.
It's gonna be glorious.
I mean, Kenny Omega did kill Adam Cole
with a tainted monster.
So if you don't know what we mean, go subscribe to BTE. Okay. So it's something's going on with that. So that's how they end the show. It is a good way to go too, because like I said, the match.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Heather, can we address the fact that Hanger committed a felony?
We don't know for sure if he stole the ambulance.
Yeah,
okay?
It could have been more of borrowing it, and maybe not like borrowing it forever, But he could have definitely just taken a little.
He might have asked for a ride back from the hospital, and all that was available was an ambulance. And while they were getting going, the ambulance driver hurt his foot. But he's like, "I got to get there now. Why don't we just switch seat?" You don't know. We don't know that. We don't know. We're not calling this man. We're not going to point fingers. Okay, it's America. Innocent until proven guilty is what I always like to say.
Dude. What America do you live in where you're innocent before proven guilty?
No, they don't know.
That's old thinking. Clearly, you're guilty in the eyes of.
There's no. We don't know he stole it. We don't know he stole it. He's a good-looking man. He might have sweet talked somebody and got the keys. Maybe
they're hanging out in the back. And it's like he's probably did the old, because he's like, I'm a celebrity. Can I drive it? They're like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
go for it.
That's probably
and then he did. That's probably If he did steal it, I mean, then I will make sure I'm at the court date here in Kansas City, and I will let you know how it goes. Because I will definitely be there.
Well, it's actually going to be Independence. It's even closer to you. So
I know.
All right.
So, he did have the siren on. Damn it, she's right.
Yeah, you gotta make a splash. All right, let's not poke holes through our pre-storied, weekly TV drama here, Heather. Okay,
just let us have this, okay?
Okay, match though, unbelievable. If by chance you're listening to this and you've not watched this match, you just leave. We're done. Go watch it. Go watch
top
it.
Top three I've ever seen in my life, in person.
It was. I had to ask everybody there. Was that better of the two that you've seen here in Kansas City? Kenny Omega, Pac, Iron Man, or that match? And everybody just immediately that one. I mean, I of course going to say that one because flippy Spanish shit. But I hope we get more Hijo del Vikingo.
Yeah, me too.
I hope we do.
Me too.
We don't know.
I
We
mean,
will. AAA has him on. Like, they have first right of everything, pretty much. But they've loosened the
kinda own
reins.
him.
And like a year ago, we wouldn't have seen him on TV in America, right? So, hey, there's that. Well,
Living in America.
So Jamie has dropped at least, I think, 7, 8 movie references tonight here. I can't.
I think I'm around 6.
6 movies. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, right meow, around 6 or 7.
Okay. Well, all right. So we're gonna call it that. Final thoughts about our 4th live rampage, Dynamite, the match of the year potentially. I mean, final thoughts.
It was great. Brody King wins. Taya Valkyrie wins. Acclaim win. And I don't remember the other one. There you go.
So there's all your spoilers. Okay.
You stick around, you get a little extra.
Okay. All right.
Lilenya.
All right, that's what we got, guys. Like I said, fantastic stuff. Hijo's a god. Kenny's back to doing Kenny things, and we got some good stuff. So next week, St. Louis.
Adam Hangman Page is a felon.
I am running away from this conversation as fast as we can here. So next week, St. Louis, Adam Cole's in-ring return and other stuff. We'll see more fallout from BCC versus Dark Order, and the BCC is going on this whole and it's once again, I know it's not the first time, but this whole us versus the entire locker room shtick, which cool, right? But we'll see where that goes with what the Elite's next direction is, what Hanger's next direction. Good stuff coming here. Then they're in New York, which is what Jamie predicts is going to be a massive show, probably the FTR decision match. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back next week, same bad time. Or same bat channel, a different bat time, our more regular bat time.
Mm-hmm.
Half hour after Dynamite actually ends.
Yes.
So thank you for those of you who did join in. Thank you, Heather, for hopping in as well, too. A little late here and chatting with us. For those of you listening, those of you watching the replay, we appreciate you guys giving us your support. You can always give us a little more by hitting a comment down below, like the video, like us, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching, share this video with others. And of course, you can always hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest.
Absolutely.
Jamie, take us home, man.
All right. Well, if anything, I'm committed to the bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out down at the Total Spotfest, I got 3 words for you. I'm Ron Burgundy.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Goddamn teleprompter. Peace.